going to do some special new rules for you. These are bonus new rules. Laugh right out loud.
New rule, stop saying Noah never built an ark. He built a shitload of arks. This week, a team of Turkish scientists, and who doesn't trust a Turkish scientist, announced they found Noah's Ark. Well, one of Noah's Arks, because other Noah's Arks have been found in 1973, 1993. In 2006, they found 2 arks. That was a great year for ark finding. This newest ark is the best, though, because an Iranian scientist, and they're also very good, said the wood is 4,800 years old. So in your face, Richard Dawkins. And boy, do I have egg on my face. Coming this summer, my new documentary, Religious Full. New rules, stop asking the Supreme Court to rule on stuff they don't understand. Last week it was email. Now it's violent video games. What are they going to take up next? Whether you can follow someone on Twitter who's defriended you on Facebook? Sexting? These justices are old. Judge Kennedy's idea of cyber sex is tapping out "Who's your daddy" in Morse code. Are there really jobs in America that Americans won't do, or is that only because certain wages are depressed by immigrants who are willing to work for less? Well, yeah, they're willing. Yeah, I mean...
Well, I mean, one of the things that's going on in Arizona is when you have 9% unemployment, the idea of jobs Americans won't do becomes less appealing because there are more jobs that Americans will do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think if you look at it, the impact of immigration on wages for low-income Americans is real but modest. I mean, well, I'll defer to the economist on.
It's real but modest. It's mostly for people without a high school degree, and it mostly affects particularly Hispanic Americans and Black Americans, African Americans. I mean, basically, yes, immigrants do depress the wage of high school or less educated workers, but it's a very small effect. And it's very uneven. You have to look at who doesn't have a high school diploma. I think one of the ironies about Arizona right now is, you know, you look at that subprime boom, you look at that construction in Arizona, you look at all of those houses. Arizona, like California, was a real center of this building.
Right.
I am sure a significant amount of those construction workers were probably undocumented aliens.
But the other thing to realize about the failure of our immigration policy right now is, in a large degree, our immigration laws keep people in who want to leave. There are a lot of people who do want to come, maybe pick some strawberries, maybe do some work in New York, and then they want to leave, go back to their home country. The way these laws are set up right now, they're captive here.
That's very true.
You know, and
absolutely right.
So frankly,
why?
You should write the law.
Because they can't go back.
Well, what winds up happening is because we're making it so difficult for them to travel back and forth that what might have been a temporary worker, they want to come for a couple of months, get some money to go back to their home country, is now become someone who has to stay here for fear they're not going to be able to return in the next season. And that's why, look, one of the toughest elements of this, I said this was an easy problem to solve, one of the toughest elements is how you deal with temporary workers, how you deal with that in a way that doesn't create a second-tier status. But the immigration laws right now, not only are they screwed up in that way, you know, Laura, it's true, a lot of them, overwhelming numbers of them are working with fake Social Security numbers, paying Social Security taxes.
I know, they're paying
taxes. So there are so many ways that this system is
But that's going to save Social Security, right? I think that's Charlie Crist's plan, actually, to save Social Security.
You know, look, if a lot of people come out of the shadows and start paying, and start getting normalized in this system, yeah, a lot of people who are working in a gray economy are going to be working in the economy that we're all in.
And I think the evidence for the country shows that actually what they're paying in taxes and what they're collecting in benefits for the immigrant population pretty much matches. You do have certain states at certain times. You're right, a lot of undocumented pay Social Security. They actually pay state taxes through sales tax and things like that. But
we can have that
certain
rapid rail
states,
thing I talked about between
here
in Mexico.
Then they can
have a rapid rail and give them temporary work visas.
There ought to be a law. If only I knew someone in that business, I'd be set.
This is good. We have a solution.
You live in Chihuahua, you work in L.A. You know, you get it. You're back every night.
Yep. I agree with that.
This is probably going to get me in trouble with the younger demographic who we're trying always to court, but isn't there an element of age versus ethnicity? When I was a kid, it seemed like young people were willing to do those really crappy jobs. When you were young, you sort of understood. Yeah. I mean, I did a series of really crappy jobs. I mean, I
saw some of those shows, in fact.
His seat is safe on this show. But really, I think that the young people today are not willing to do the kind of, I mean, I did the jobs that now, you typically associate with Latinos. Yeah. I did landscaping. I scrubbed toilets. I married Madonna. No. I really think it's true. I think young people, high school, college.
Probably, I mean, it's their parents' fault too. It's that the country got richer. Everybody had more money.
Yeah, but we've been having people come in for years to work out here in California.
Yeah, no, kids weren't picking strawberries.
Going on when we had good times and bad times. There's always been a market for labor out here.
Summer jobs. We used to do those.
I mean, you weren't out in the, well, maybe you were, but you weren't out in like the vast orange field.
No, and you
yes. Probably. I mean,
but I don't actually think this immigration debate is all that different than one we've had generations past. There's always going to be that tier of jobs that is going to attract immigrant labor, that is going to create this tension, and we periodically have to adjust our immigration laws to catch up with it. That's what we're going through now, but we're doing it in such a tribal environment now, in such a tense environment, it makes it very difficult for legislators.
We're doing it at a time when states are in serious trouble and when there's a very high unemployment rate. And so while it is true when the economy is strong, that I think you could say clearly immigrants are coming in and doing jobs that would not be done by others because they're doing other jobs.
Yeah, but we failed to do this when the economy was strong as well.
I agree. We have a bad policy. I am not disagreeing. I'm just saying, and I'm not excusing what's going on. I'm saying that right now you can see that people who want to be angry about immigrants will say, my God, it's a job I could have or someone in my family could have, or my God, the state has to put money into education or health and the state budget is broke. I want these people to go home. But they're missing the point that if we had the right rules, these provide very important services to our economy.
All right. You were so good on this one question, we have no time for others. Thank you very much. Thank you, audience. We'll see you next week.